Welcome to the Relocated South African, the show for navigating immigration from South Africa for a better future. I'm your host, Jan Hugo from Lagos in Portugal. If you want to interact with us or comment on our discussions, or even participate in an interview, please contact me on relocatedsoutafrican@gmail.com. Today I welcome all the way from North Dakota in the United States, Sonéll Van Niekerk. Welcome, Sonéll.
Thank you, Jan. Thanks for having me.
Well, we normally start with a short background. So maybe you just want to tell us where did you grow up, go to school, where you're from, etc. in South Africa.
Well, Jan, I was born in Newcastle, KwaZulu-Natal, in South Africa. And for a big part of my childhood, we moved around a lot. So I was in various towns and various schools. But I finished my schooling in Standerton at High School Standerton.
Can you believe I was in Hoogenout in Bethel?
Oh, really? My brother was there.
No way. Small world.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so you were in Standerton, yeah.
Yeah, and then I studied beauty, eventually got married, lived in Cape Town for a short period of my life as well, had children, and, life happened.
Yeah, awesome. And you've got 2 kids, eh?
Yes.
Okay. And when did you leave South Africa?
We left South Africa in May of 2022.
Okay. And at that time, were you living in Cape Town?
No, we were living in Standerton.
Oh, so you were actually in Standerton at that time?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I must say a lot of those small towns, I think the last time I was in Bethel was probably in about 2003. And those places that had gone downwards since then, unfortunately.
Yeah, we recently saw a video on YouTube of the dust bugs, and they went through Standerton, and we couldn't believe how everything has just gone downwards over there. The roads, the town, it's very sad.
Okay. And your life in Standerton was pretty rustig, peaceful before you decided to leave? And maybe ask the question, what prompted you to leave?
Well, life in Standerton was good, except for they've had riots and they've had, people doing what they do, if I can say it like that. When we decided to come over, it was an opportunity for us to come over and work and live in the USA. So we prayed about it, and God said, well, that's his plan for us. And we decided to come, and he really just brought us out of chaos into safety. So we're grateful.
Oh, awesome. So it was a job opportunity that opened up for you guys?
Yes.
Okay. Because a lot of people, when they decide make a call to leave by themselves without support of a company or without a work opportunity, they often face a lot of red tape and very difficult situations. So you didn't have much of that?
Yeah, thankfully not. So we came over and my husband worked on a farm. Well, he came over first, and then the kids and I followed when he came again. So, yeah.
Okay. And did you leave a lot of family back in South Africa?
Yes, we did. My in-laws and my husband's brother and sister and their families, and then my parents and my brother and my other sister and my other brother and their families. So yeah, we have quite a bit of family still left in South Africa, but my side of the family is pretty spread out in the world as well, and my husband's family. So we have family in New Zealand, Germany, and Australia as well.
Okay. So typical South African story. But it is difficult to still have family left in South Africa because one always sees negative things and, apart from the other emotional things that we'll get to a little bit later, it is quite difficult. And for you, even worse, I guess, the time difference.
Yeah, it's 8 hours difference. And then when we have daylight savings time in the winter, it's 9 hours difference. So yeah, I try and phone my parents every day the same time. Then I know they're available.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Talking about North Dakota, it's not a place that's very well known, to to the regular travelers. What is the nearest big city that we would know about?
The nearest big city from us is Bismarck. It's around 2.5 hours drive from here, but another city that you might know is Fargo. That's about 6 hours drive from us.
Okay. So are you in a farming community or a small town?
Yeah, we're in a rural town in America. We have about 1,200 people living here, 1,200 people who live in our community. The town where we started at when we were living on the farm had 600 people. And I know that there are even towns with even less people. So we love it in rural America.
Oh, my word. So you're in Standerton, North Dakota.
Well, smaller than Standerton, like maybe like a quarter of Standerton.
Oh, my word. And with the difference is everything works.
Yes.
And Sonéll, the weather, I mean, North Dakota is known that it's cold. Was that a big thing to get used to?
I don't think we ever realized that we got used to it, because the first winter that we spent here in the winter of 22, 23, that was a really, really bad winter. I think that year we had like 5 blizzards, and I can't even remember properly. I know the school was closed for 2 weeks because of blizzards, and the snow was like hip height and everything. So it was really cold. I think we hit negative 90 degrees Celsius that year. But we didn't realize it because we were so excited about the snow and everything else. And the house has central heating. So I don't even think we felt it. And ever since then, it's just winter.
But I guess from a South African perspective, we are also used to living outside and doing things outside. But I imagine in a place like North Dakota, you dress for it and you still go outside from time to time. It's not like you're housebound.
Yeah, no, you're not housebound at all. And all the buildings, the schools, the shops, the houses, everything is heated with central heating, and you dress for it. I mean, I'm not going to wear my snow pants from my house to my vehicle outside and then from the vehicle into the school and then take it off there. I just go with a denim and a hoodie and then just walk the few seconds. It's not that bad. If the wind's not blowing, it's not bad. But if the wind's blowing, it feels like your face is going to fall off.
I can just imagine. Oh, well done for adapting. I think that's pretty good because a lot of people find it very difficult to adapt to the weather.
Yeah, I guess you just make the best of it.
Yeah. And I mentioned that I know that you are, and that's where I came across your profile, was on TikTok. So you've got a very active profile on TikTok. Tell me about that. How did that come about?
Well, I actually started out by doing my Christian Bible teachings on my TikTok. And then when the Afrikaner refugees arrived in the USA, wow, all of us all over the world, we're just watching this plane fly over to the USA. And we were all so happy and excited for them to land, and everything now coming to light. And I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to make a quick welcoming message just to welcome them in the USA. And that kind of went viral.
Oh, awesome. That's how it, okay. I didn't know that that's how it started, but I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, and from there on, I just decided to make videos of life here and explaining how things work. I mean, a lot of people have a lot of questions, and I've been messaged about with questions and everything, so I just make videos about it.
I think that's fantastic. I know there's quite a few people that do that kind of thing, but it just shows you the demand. The very interesting thing about this podcast is that quite a large percentage of the listeners are still in South Africa. You'd think that you only talk to over 30%. You know, it's been going for 3 months now, but we see the stats, and it tells me that there's a lot of people with wanting information. What is it like? You know, because it's such a big decision to move. So well done for you. And now I've seen your Christian videos as well. So from that perspective, maybe you should tell us about your faith. And did you work in the church, or how did that come about?
Yes, well, I grew up in a Christian home, but I completely surrendered my life to Jesus as an adult. I've just been living for him for many years. And then I studied theology. I did a 3-year degree in theology through the Full Gospel Church Bible College in Irene in South Africa. And then I started doing videos on Facebook now 8 years ago. So I'm still doing videos on Facebook as well, where I teach the Bible. And then I had some speaking opportunities in South Africa, but I've had many more speaking opportunities here in the USA. We have a pastor at the Methodist Church. When she would go on vacation, they'd have me fill the pulpit. And then at our church, where we are at the Assembly of God as well, if the pastor is gone and no one else is available, they ask me also to fill the pulpit. And then I also lead the adult Sunday school class.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, well done. I mean, I would imagine, because one of my other questions was about getting involved in the community and getting accepted. I would imagine there's not a lot of other South Africans where you are in such a small town. So it's important to get taken up into the US community, and the church is a wonderful way to do that.
Absolutely. It's probably the most important thing that I would say you have to do once you immigrate to another country is become part of the community, be a volunteer, get out of the house, get into the stores, just randomly talk to people, just be your friendly self. Sometimes it's scary because our accents are so heavy that people kind of shy away from us. But eventually, when you crack a joke or two, I'll just speak Afrikaans to them and then ask them if they understand what I'm saying. And then I explain to them, and then we all have a good laugh. And that just really breaks the ice fast. But get involved in the community. I'm also part of our town's city business chamber. So I'm on the business chamber board, and we do all the events and the planning and promotion of businesses and all those things too. And that also helps. You create your village. You surround yourself with people you want to have in your life. And that's very important. That helps with the constant missing of family and friends.
That is so important. I think, if there's one thing that comes out of a lot of these discussions is the loneliness. It really catches up with people, and, people come over as couples with children and at different ages. But some people are just not outgoing, and they find it's extremely hard, and people don't come to you. You have to go out. You have to put yourself out there. So I think that's awesome advice. Funny enough, people that I spoke to in Australia, they were from Natal, and they were both involved in the church as well. The husband plays the drums, and now in Australia, he plays the drums in the church band, and they're very involved in the church and the school. It's different there because of the amount of South Africans, but still, it's a way to become very involved. So that is fantastic. And if you think about life, and I've seen in your videos, you talk about walking from the store late at night and not feeling threatened at all. What do you appreciate most about your life in where you are?
I appreciate most about our life the safety, the fact that we don't have 6 feet high walls around our house with electric fencing and alarm beams around the house and security gates everywhere and burglar bars everywhere. I sleep with open windows at night without fear of anyone breaking in or hurting us or doing anything. I go to the store and I don't have to cling to my children of fear of having someone grab them. Then again, you need to also be careful in the cities. I mean, you do get your dangerous places in the cities, and that's probably why we prefer rural America, is because it's just so safe and so peaceful here. Sometimes I walk from work home at 9 p.m. at night, and I walk home 2-3 blocks without any fear of anyone doing anything to me.
Yeah, that safety aspect is, and the interesting thing is when you speak to the locals, they don't really think about it because they've never been threatened in any way. So I think that's also a point that comes out with a lot of discussions with South Africans. And, I always ask the question of contact with other South Africans. I guess your contact is through TikTok and your videos and Facebook.
Yes, the majority of my contact is through social media, yeah.
Okay. You haven't seen any other South Africans in the flesh since you've been there?
We have, in our community, we're about 26 South Africans.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
So we have a lot of South Africans who work around on the farms. So yeah, we're a pretty nice community. The managers of the motel in our town, they are South African. And then their brother and sister-in-law are also here. They drive the shuttle for the motel. And then you have a whole bunch of guys farming. And then we have some other ladies here as well. So we have a nice community of Afrikaners here in our town. And we have a pretty good name too, so we try to keep it that way.
I see the name Amerikaners comes up everywhere, so especially since this refugee thing. Okay, I didn't appreciate that there were so many. And you say that you work as well on top of kids and family and TikTok.
Yeah, I work at the public school. So I'm a paraprofessional, and coming here, well, before we came here, I never even knew this kind of job existed. So once we got involved with the community and we moved to town after the farm and everything, I realized but there's a job at the school where people actually help children with learning and behavioral challenges. And I applied to be a substitute teacher, but then they contacted me and said they actually need a paraprofessional. I'm like, what's that? So they explained it, and I did a course online. And now I work with a student who's hard of hearing. I basically teach him every single day. We have our own classroom, and I help him if he needs to go to other classes. I walk with him. Otherwise, he walks on his own. And it's been quite an adventure. It's been quite an experience learning this whole new world of teaching children with learning and behavioral challenges. It's pretty amazing. It's a cool job. And then during the summer, when we have 3 months summer vacation, I waitress at a local restaurant.
Oh, fantastic. Well done. I must say, I can just see you really look comfortable and at ease, if I may say. And it tells me that, you've accepted life there and you're living life there without looking back. And that's obviously a question. You've told me what you miss most. What do you miss about South Africa?
I miss my family. I miss my family the most. I do miss the Kruger National Park. We used to go there every year during the winter. So I do miss that. But then again, we have national parks over here too. And then I can always tune in live on YouTube and watch the animals in the Kruger National Park. But yeah, I really do miss my family. And yeah, my family and friends is what I miss most.
And you haven't seen your parents and family since you've been in America?
Yeah, we have not seen each other since we left, except on WhatsApp video call.
Sure, sure. But is there an opportunity in the future or?
We're working towards having my parents come visit us, God willing, next year over the 4th of July for a couple of days. We're working towards that. So it's very expensive, and we're saving and sending them money and working hard to have them come visit us.
Okay, well done. And I always ask this question because it's funny the answers that you get. When somebody asks me, what do I miss from South Africa? I always say, I can tell you what I don't miss, and that's a car guard. But but if you could ship something from South Africa today that would arrive tomorrow, what would that be?
My mom.
Okay. Okay.
My mom and my wedding dress. Yeah, I'd ship those.
Okay. That's very, it's, the episode that was on today, the guy said that he's a lawyer and he misses his books the most. He had to give up a whole library of books. So I can imagine. So there's such big sacrifices that go with this process. So I can understand. And I think the one other thing that comes out very often is the support, when something goes wrong, when you have sick children. But it sounds to me like you've got a nice community in the church and, the South Africans and the people around you. So that's probably not such a big miss in your life.
Yeah, I often say we have more people here who care for us and love us than we had in South Africa. I mean, we did have a support system in South Africa, but here it feels so much bigger. I don't know why. but we have a lot more people that we can just rely on for help. And we're grateful for that. Yeah, it's incredible.
And my sense is that Americans are very welcoming.
Oh, absolutely. They are very welcoming. We have had our experience with some who were not as welcoming, but you know what? It is what it is. And I always say, you know what? I have survived South Africa as a special skill on my CV. So you know what? We just take everyone as they come. But like 99% of Americans are very welcoming and very kind.
No, that's also the experience of my kids in Dallas and what we see. I've been there many times, and you just find that the people are friendly and welcoming. So now, I mean, maybe this is an obvious answer, but would you ever consider or see yourself going back to South Africa?
No. Short answer, no.
But you know what? That is such an important thing, because the other question that goes with that is from a family perspective. Now I'm talking your immediate family, husband and children, that the immigration process can be very difficult, but it can also bring you closer together. Would you say that's the case in your situation?
Yes, it has brought us closer together as a family. Absolutely. My husband and I have learned skills in our marriage that we never had before in South Africa. Our roles have evolved as well. At one point, I was working 3 jobs to keep the pot cooking, and my husband was looking for a job at that point. And so we've had our fair share of challenges, but we have overcome it together. We have a slogan in our family, and we say we only have each other. So we should always stick together because we only have each other.
Oh, that's very true. That is so true. The guy today said, "We are each other's tribe." That's it, because there's no one else. So, and coupled with that is when you made the call to leave, that was a joint decision. It wasn't like one was doubtful or the other one wanted desperately to go and the other one said, "Oh, well, okay, I'll go." You were on the same page, is that right?
Yes, we were 100% on the same page. We made this choice together. Sometimes, you get your up and down days. And sometimes to me, I felt guilty because we're here and I made this decision. And then my husband said, no, I made this decision with you. We were in this together. And that's 100% what happened. And that's so important, is when you decide to leave the country that you were born in, to leave your family, everything for a better future, you need to be in it together. Because if you cannot be pulling in separate ways, you need to pull together. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And that's why you have many people who divorce after they've immigrated, is because they're not in it together.
That's very interesting and I guess very true. On that note, do you see a lot of support groups? I know obviously your videos and you help and people watch your videos and send you questions and so on. But are you involved in any support groups for immigration or for immigrants or expats living in the States?
Yes, I'm part of 2 groups for women. The first one is on Facebook. It's called SAWITU, SAWITU. It stands for South African Women in the USA and Canada. And then the other one is a WhatsApp group for South African women in the USA, which is more Afrikaans. But there we ask questions about visas, immigration, recipes, replacement products for recipes, and those kinds of things. So yeah, we really support each other. When you're down in the dumps the day and you're missing your family, you're welcome to write out your heart on there, and everyone supports you.
Okay. Yeah, that's very important because I think, the distance is such a big issue. It's not a small decision to move to the States.
No.
It's different to go to fly to Mauritius or somewhere close by, but to go to the States is a big decision. And, it takes a lot out of you and it takes a long time out of your life. It costs a lot of money. So it's not something that you want to reverse because the sooner you can start a new life on the other side, the better it will be for everyone.
Absolutely.
So I think you guys are doing the right thing. In terms of we have briefly spoken about advice and so on. If you had a friend now asking you, what should I do? Or what should we do as a family? What would you say?
If you have the opportunity to go, go. Ultimately, it's a whole new world that opens up for you and for your family. Your children have a future. At one point, we talked about it, my husband and I, and we said, you know what, it's either us leaving or our children leaving us. And, we decided to rather leave.
Okay. And you just mentioned your kids. Are they adapting? Are they enjoying life?
Yes, they are. In the beginning, I'd say the first 3 months they did struggle a little bit. They missed their family, their grandparents, and so on. But once they got into school, because we came here at the beginning of summer, but once they were in school and they were settled, they were ready for it and they just ran with it. And so far, it's fantastic. When they speak English, they sound like real Americans.
Isn't that amazing? My two grandchildren in America, the boy who's 13, he still speaks Afrikaans, but his sister, she's 9, she hardly speaks. She can understand it, but she doesn't want to speak it, and when they speak English, they sound like, and in Texas it's even worse, but they sound like real proper Americans.
They do. And it's awesome because the schools here have an ELA program. It's English Language Assistance. So both our children went through that, and that helped a lot. But we still speak Afrikaans at home. And we've decided now to start homeschooling. And we're going to have Afrikaans as a subject. So it's really important for me to teach the children to keep on reading, writing, and speaking in Afrikaans, because once they graduate, they get a seal on their diploma that says that they are bilingual, which opens even more doors for them, universities and colleges, and even work-wise.
Okay, so do you do the homeschooling just in Afrikaans? They still go to school, but you just do homeschooling in Afrikaans?
No, they will be staying home. So once the schools start now in August, I'll be going back to school, working at the school, but they'll be staying home. They're old enough to work on their own, and that makes it a lot easier. My husband also works shifts, so when he's home, he'll be helping them. And when I get off work, I can check on their work and make sure that they understand everything.
Okay, and in terms of the social side of school?
They're going to do a hybrid version. So they're still going to be involved in sports. And my son is still going to be doing videography classes through the school. And my daughter also said once there's a subject that she wants to do at school, she'll also be doing that. But they'll still be involved in sports and those kinds of things. That's really important. Yeah.
I didn't even know that there was an opportunity like that. It just shows you that the US is just a different place. It's amazing. The thing that impressed me about the school is that the kids are forced to take a cultural subject. My grandson learned to play the violin, and they now in symphony orchestra in the school, which is absolutely amazing to see the growth in a few years. So that kind of thing is just phenomenal.
Yeah. Between our two kids, they play 7 instruments, which they never could play in South Africa. So it's insane how their talents just developed this side as well.
Wow, that is absolutely, absolutely fantastic. So now we're getting towards the end. I mean, in terms of the, call them refugees, I think it's a wrong name, but these Afrikaners that are arriving in the States, do you see more and more of them arriving? Is it a bit of a constant flow? Because one always sees in the news that, these applications are open and people can, apply and join and get in. Do you still see more coming in?
Yes, I just think they're going to do it under the radar now because people have been so brutal about it and really rude about it. So I hope they keep it quiet around this time. But there will be a constant inflow of the minorities in South Africa coming into the USA with the refugee program. As far as I know, there are more than 70,000 who applied, which I believe is fantastic because this is the land of opportunity. And this is an opportunity that's been handed to them like a golden ticket. And I'd say if you can, take it.
Absolutely. And in the ones that you have dealt with, have they all settled and gotten jobs and settled quickly?
Yes. As far as I know, they all have settled, they have jobs, they're all well off. So that's good. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's awesome to know. Just finally, is there anything you would have done differently, thinking back over 3 years? Is there anything you would have done differently in terms of making this move?
What I would have done differently is I would have packed less clothes and more sentimental things.
Okay, that's very interesting.
If I knew clothes were so easily available at thrift stores with still the tags on them and everything, I would have probably not packed any clothes, just a weekend's worth of clothes and the rest sentimental items that I would have brought. That's probably what I would have done, yeah,
Okay, and you just came over with,
with our bags.
yeah, no furniture, nothing.
No, no, we decided not to bring our furniture. We sold it all. I think we used our last money for our airplane tickets. So the money we had over here was what my husband earned when he worked here the first time. So yeah, that's what we had in our suitcases.
Well done. I must say, it's amazing to hear such a good news story, and that, yes, we miss things and we miss our families, but I think you said a true thing that the kids, you will one day be able to see your grandkids because they'll be living in the same country as you. And it's unfortunately a sacrifice that, your parents have to make in that they won't have that access to their grandkids. So yeah, I think well done to you guys. It's an awesome story. And I think a lot of people will benefit from listening to you and hearing how you guys have done it. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we close off?
No, I'm just grateful for this wonderful opportunity. And it's been wonderful to get to know you and to chat on here. And I hope that those who listen to this and who see that there is an opportunity will decide to be brave and make the move, because it takes a lot of bravery to do this and to stick it out. There's a lot who do it and then they go back, but it takes a lot to stay. And I hope that they have the courage to stay.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your journey to North Dakota and in North Dakota, Sonéll. Thanks for being open and really giving us an insight into your family's journey.
Anytime, Jan. Thank you for inviting me.
If you enjoyed my discussion with Sonéll and would like to hear more about experiences of South Africans who have left for a better future, why not subscribe on your favorite platform? If you would like to share your own story, contact us on relocatedSouthAfrican@gmail.com. Until next time.